What a special time to be together. As usual, I'll begin satsang with a question that's come in from our family around the world who aren't able to be physically present with us, but who are joining us through the great gift of technology, the wonderful plus side of technology, that from their homes they're able to join us for sacred arti, for satsang. So we'll take a question from them first and then open it up to any questions that anyone here might have. Can your guru be someone you've never met, but from whom you've been learning deeply, remotely, and with whom you feel connected to their wisdom and love? Absolutely. The word guru, the Sanskrit word guru, literally means the remover of darkness and the bringer of light. That's what the actual word means, the one who removes the darkness. Now, in Sanatana Dharma, in the Hindu tradition, we don't believe in original sin. We don't believe that who you are is dark and wrong at the core of your being. We believe that who you are at the core is divine, that you've been created of divinity. But we believe in what we call original ignorance, meaning instead of recognizing that who I really am is infinite consciousness, infinite love, infinite wisdom, just infinity, I identify as the body. And when I identify as the body, its size and shape and color, emotions stir, feelings stir about it, comparisons happen. I constantly am wanting more. I'm not the right size or shape or color. I don't have enough. We want leads us into what we call rag and dvesh, likes and dislikes, that which I'm pulling toward me, that which I'm pushing away from me. And all of that leads us to suffering. I mean, how do you feel when you are feeling like you're not enough, like you don't have enough, that you're on the losing side of a competition that you've created in your mind between you and someone else? How does it feel to feel jealous, to feel greedy, to feel angry? Well, these are not pleasant feeling states. It's not like, oh wow, I can't wait till I'm jealous again. That feels so good. Boy, I can't wait till, I feel again like I'm just a worthless piece of junk, because that feels so good. It feels horrible. And so we suffer. Not because we are wrong, but simply because we are ignorant. So simply our thoughts are wrong. Our thought pattern is wrong that says, you are this body, you are the role. On a serious level, you are things that have happened to you. You are the abuse, abandonment, betrayal, lying, cheating that you've experienced. You are the trauma you've been through. Right? We identify with all of that. And then we suffer. So that's the darkness that we talk about when we pray. Asatoma sadgamaya, tamsoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. When we say, lead me from falsehood to truth, darkness to light, it's not saying lead me from this horrible, evil being I am, dark being I am, to being okay. It's leading me from darkness of ignorance, falsehood, an identification with the body that is born and dies. So the guru then is the one who removes that darkness and who shows us the light of ourselves. The guru is the one who allows us to see the light of our self. Do you have to be in the physical presence of the guru? No. Does your guru even have to still be alive? No. Did you ever have to have met your guru? No. Could your guru be a tree? Yes. So the guru is that being who removes the darkness of our ignorance and brings us light. The benefit, though, the benefit of having a guru who, A, is still in their body, and B, in whose presence you're able to be at least sometimes, is that along this beautiful path of being a disciple and having a guru, and it is a beautiful path, by the way. A lot of us, especially from the West, think, no, I'm not going to surrender to anyone. I need full autonomy. And of course, the truth is we've already surrendered. I mean, we've surrendered to our egos and our desires and our false identifications and the advertisements that we see on TV and the influencers we follow on social media who we copy whatever they do. Like, we're already surrendered. We're just surrendered in directions that tend not to bring us to the direction that we need to go. So the path of being a disciple is a path that on a personal level I can highly recommend. The dilemma with having a guru who's no longer in their bodies, or who you're never able to be with in person, is the ego doesn't like this idea of surrender. I mean, the ego is happy for you to surrender to the ego. But surrendering to anyone else, it's like that story I was telling about Prahlad and the god and his father. The ego is like that. You're only allowed to surrender to the ego. And so what happens is, as we're walking this path, the ego comes in and says things like, I don't like that instruction the guru just gave. This guru's not nice to me. I want a guru who's going to just tell me, you are perfect, you are wonderful, no need to meditate, no need to pray, just, makes things easier, right? And if you go to the guru and the guru says, kuch nahi karna, kuch mat karo. Not because the core of who you are is divine, but because, you don't have any psychic issues to work out, no sanskaras, no patterns, no nothing. I'm sure you never get angry, and if you do, I'm sure it's with very good reason. Whoever you're angry at must deserve your anger. Right? I mean, we'd like a guru like that. The ego would. So what happens when we are not in the physical presence of a guru is the ego tends to build and build. And if we're just reading teachings or watching a video of a teaching, it's so easy for the ego to say, yeah, that applies to everybody except me. He definitely or she definitely didn't mean that for me. And if you don't know the Guru personally, then it's so easy to say, well, he or she doesn't know me. Obviously, that doesn't pertain to me. And then the ego actually detracts you from the path. So yes, your Guru can be anyone you've met, you've never met, still in the body, no longer in the body, a human, not a human. And yet, unless you've really managed to become free of the clutches of your ego, it's a lot easier to have a Guru who is in the body and whose presence you're able to be in at least sometimes. Because then the Guru is able to, metaphorically, not literally, sort of slap you back into shape. I remember when my Guru, Pujya Swamiji, told me in the very beginning, been here probably less than a year, he looked at me. I was telling him something that felt very deep and very important and very real. I was upset about something. And I felt very righteous about being upset about it. And of course, I wanted him to tell me that I was fully right in being upset about it. And he looks at me and he says, "You're the stupidest smart person I've ever met." It's pretty hard to feel self-righteous after that. And he then proceeded to explain to me in a very loving but clear way that my entire way of thinking about the situation was so twisted and such a product of the workings of my ego. But if I didn't have a Guru in the body to whom I could say that, it was very likely that my ego would have just felt very self-righteous in being upset about that. So I recommend having a Guru. I recommend, to whatever extent possible, having a Guru you can be with at least sometimes. And by the way, this leads us lastly to a question I get asked a lot, which is, can you have two Gurus? And the answer is yes. Of course, I mean, you could have 100 Gurus. There's a beautiful story, I won't go into it in our scriptures, about having so many different elements of nature be the Gurus, 24 elements of nature being the Gurus. The dilemma is, I'm sorry? Was it not 24? Oh. Anyway, the dilemma, of course, is that if you've got so many Gurus, we get confused. They teach in different ways. They're all going to the same place. But it's like if I say, okay, let's go for a bath in Ganga. Let's go bathe in Ganga. And we've got a team of, say, 5-10 organizers who are going to take us down for the bath to Ganga. And one says, go right. One says, go left. One says, go straight. One says, upriver. One says, downriver. One says, the steps. One says, the sandy beach. One says, the rock. Now, all paths are going to get you to Ganga. Doesn't matter how you get in. But what you would find yourself is not in Ganga because you're running upstream, downstream, stairs, beach, rock, based on who you're listening to. And it would be a lot easier just to listen to one person and end up in Ganga. But, if your guru is no longer in their body, or if your guru is someone whom you've never met and who it's likely you never will be able to meet, and there is another guru in the body in whose presence you have the opportunity to be, I would say have both. Take the beautiful teachings of the guru you're not able to be with, and allow yourself to learn under, study under, be guided by the one in whose presence you are able to be. Beautiful.
Whosoever I have the teaching, I think for that aspect, he's my guru.
Yeah, wherever I get the teaching, that is my guru. Well, it's true, and yet the dilemma with that is a teacher is not the same as a guru. And the easiest way to understand this is you could have the very best oceanography teacher who would teach you everything there is to know about the ocean. Everything there is to know about life under the ocean. And you could be an A+ student to this teacher. And yet when you walk out of class, your clothes will still be dry. With a guru, you're going to learn about the ocean. And when you're done learning about the ocean with the guru, your clothes are going to be dripping wet. Because the guru gives not only the teaching, but the experience. So the guru's not only telling us about peace, telling us about love, telling us about truth, but the guru's giving us the experience of that light. Yes, someone had a question. Right here. Sure.
Namaste.
Namaste.
My question is, it's very easy to deal with people who are good to me. But how do I deal with people who are mean to me? Shall I go down and give them a reply in the language which they understand? But that hurts me. And not giving a reply hurts me even more. How to deal with people who are mean to me?
Okay. माइक रहने दें उनके हाथ में 1 minute के लिए. Can you tell me why not giving them a reply hurts you even more? In what way does that hurt you?
Because I know they're going to do the same thing with other people as well. And I want them to know this is wrong.
Okay, great. We're going to take a poll. Has anyone ever told anyone who is not your child, your student, or your disciple? So you are neither their parent, their teacher, their guru. That what they are doing is wrong, and had them say, wow, thank you so much for shedding light on how I'm living my life. Hang on, raise your hand if you have ever had someone you've told that what they're doing in life is wrong. They're not your child, your student, your disciple. And they've pretty much responded with anything other than, are you done yet? Or thanks but no thanks, or something a lot ruder, right? I mean, you ask the question like we actually have options. If by telling someone who has hurt me that what they did is wrong, I actually have the chance to change how they live, by all means do it. What I've seen in life is that only works when they're your children, your student, or your disciple. Or a friend or someone who recognizes your wisdom and has come and said, can you guide me? Can you help me? In general, unsolicited advice of how we might live our lives in better, smarter ways isn't usually something that anybody ever takes with gratitude or even implements. I mean, maybe they're polite. Maybe they say, thank you so much. And they walk away and they're like, ugh. Right? Now, responding to them in that moment with anger hurts you. Of course it hurts you. It's like that famous saying, getting angry is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So we know that. But it's also important to realize that it doesn't actually achieve our goal. If it did, we'd be in a much more stuck situation. It hurts, but it serves something. But here it hurts and it doesn't serve anything. Now, if we don't respond, what we have to realize is there is a force in nature that thankfully is not under our control, called karma. What I plant, I get. The seeds I am planting are going to grow into trees in my life. I don't need you to stand there and remind them to grow in that way. I always say we're not the karmic police. You know, until and unless God comes down and says, could you be my secretary? You know, I find myself forgetting things now and then. Could you remind me who deserves what? Until and unless God does that, your concern is one thing only. In this moment, how am I supposed to walk closer to my truth? How am I in this moment supposed to peel back another layer of who I am, of my truth? Everything that happens to us is coming to give us that opportunity. Someone being hurtful to us is not a problem for us to solve. It's an opportunity for us to grow. It's an opportunity for us to learn who we are. I mean, think about it. Let's say I say to you, you have got the ugliest purple dreadlocks that I've ever seen. Okay? Now, you've barely got any hair at all. You know you don't have dreadlocks. Forget it being purple. Forget it being ugly. If I say to you, you've got the ugliest purple dreadlocks I've ever seen, are you going to be upset?
I won't react perhaps.
You won't react because what you know is you don't have purple dreadlocks, meaning either I'm blind or I'm crazy. One or the other. You're not going to find yourself start pulling out a hand mirror or your phone and making sure that you haven't suddenly grown purple dreadlocks. Right? You know, I don't have purple dreadlocks. Either I can't see or something in my brain is malfunctioning. In the same way, when people are hurtful to you, it's not about you. It's about them. Like me saying you have purple dreadlocks is about either I've got a problem with my eyes or I've got a problem in my brain. But it's not about you. You don't have purple dreadlocks. The problem is in me. And if I'm mean to you and I'm hurtful to you, well, that's because that's what I've got. We only share what we have. If what I'm sharing is hurt and pain and misery, it's because that's what I've got. It's because inside of me there is hurt and pain and misery. And so when people give you hurt, it's because that's all they have. An air conditioner can only give cold air. A heater can only give hot air. It's not their fault. It's all they've got. If I'm miserable, knowingly or unknowingly, I'm going to spread misery. If I'm in joy, in peace, in love, in truth, that's what I'm going to share. We think sometimes that not reacting makes us weak. And if I don't give them a piece of my mind, show them who's boss, they're going to step all over me again. Spirituality isn't weak. It doesn't make you a doormat. What it does is enable you to progress on your path regardless of the karmic dramas of the people around you. Otherwise, if I've got to spend my life reacting to your karmic drama and your karmic drama and your karmic drama, where's the time for me to know who I am? The point is, regardless of your drama, I'm anchored in myself. So anchor in yourself. But now, lastly, that doesn't mean that you keep knowingly putting yourself in situations where you're going to be hurt. Doesn't mean you leave your common sense at the door. Someone hurts you, okay. Well, you have two opportunities. You have the opportunity for inner growth, and you have the opportunity to choose differently next time. You get bit by a dog, walking through a path in the park, you take another path next time. But don't allow it to be something that undoes your grounding and your anchoring in who you are. They're opportunities. Beautiful. We'll take one more question tonight. Yes, in the back.
Firstly, I am very happy to be here.
One sec, he's giving you the mic. I was just checking to see if we had any kids
Firstly,
questions.
I am very happy to be here. Today is my 80th birthday, and I would need your blessing and blessing of everybody here.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I've been many times I came before, and see, it's not a question. I want you to, your experience and knowledge, throw little light. As everybody knows, one said we have a destiny. We all say destiny, destiny and all. And parallelly, when we say the free will or our karma. So sometimes you have between these two elements, looks contrary. That's this thing, if you could just, thank you.
Sure. And it's a beautiful place to end tonight as we move into Holi. So, karma literally means action. Karma is action. Every action has, as physics tells us, an equal and opposite reaction. Now, when we speak about the law of karma, it's not quite as simple as a literal boomerang. Nonetheless, everything we do has a result that is in line with what we've done. I plant an apple seed, I get an apple tree. I plant an orange seed, I get an orange tree. It's the law of nature. You're a smart person, not so smart person, rich, poor, black, white. Plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. Doesn't matter what you do over it, chant over it, sing over it, pray over it. The apple seed is not going to give you an orange tree. Okay? That's the law of karma. It's really just a law of nature, like the law of gravity. You walk off a building, you're going to fall. You're going to plummet to the ground. It doesn't matter your color, your race, how spiritual you are, what mantras you chant. Unless you know the God give me wings right now mantra, you're going to fall to the ground because of the law of gravity. So karma is just that. Now, we've got different types of karma, and I'm not going to go into the details of all of that right now, but let's just call them, for the moment, our long-term, our short-term, our immediate types of karma. Meaning things I did in a past life, things I did a long time ago or a couple years ago, things I do right now. Each of them is bearing fruit. Okay? So we have the action karma, then we have the fruit of that action. So for example, I walk down the street and I bop somebody in the nose. Okay, that's a karma, it's an action. I've just hit you in the nose. And I don't say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. I make it very clear, I did mean to. Now it's very likely that guy or gal is going to bop me right back in the nose. That's what we're going to call the fruit of the karma. But maybe not. Maybe they've come to satsang and they've learned. Don't react. So let's say I bop him on the nose. He doesn't react. My fruit is not coming from him. Nonetheless, somewhere, there is a ripple impact from me doing that, and that's going to bear fruit in my life in some way. Not necessarily that I walk down the street and some random person bops me on the nose, but the same level of pain, unjustified attack, violence, is going to bear fruit in some way in my life. Every single thing we do is karma. This is one of the core teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, right? After Bhagwan Krishna goes through all of the law of karma, Arjuna says, forget it. I just won't act. I won't do anything. I don't want to accrue any fruits. And Bhagwan Krishna says, no such luck. You can sit on your hands. You can close your eyes. You can put earplugs in your ears. And you're still acting. Not fulfilling your duty is an action. Right? So, whatever we do is an action, it has a result. Something as simple as I pick up a glass of water. I drink it. The result, my throat is wet. I'm no longer thirsty. Now, that's karma and the result. Now, destiny. So, our destiny is created by the sum total of all of these actions. Some of them from past lives. You know, people ask, well, what role does astrology play, for example? Well, my actions from my past lives, one of the ways they bear fruit is the birth I take in this life, the family I'm born into, the planetary arrangement under which I am born, the circumstances in which I'm born. All of our actions together are co-creating our destiny. The easiest way to think about it, I was just sharing this a few nights ago, is let's say that the sum total of all your past actions is a cow. Okay? You can't change it. You can't send it back and get something else in exchange. All of your past karmas leading up to this moment have led to your destiny of this moment, which is a cow. Now, a cow gives milk. If it's organic, if the cow is treated like a beloved member of the family, never harmed, its babies drink the milk, well then, the milk that's left over after the babies drink is nourishing and nurturing for us. We can drink it, we can use it to make ghee, dahi, paneer. We become nurtured, nourished. The cow also gives us gobar, poop. If we use that in our fields, we have a great harvest. It's a fantastic organic fertilizer. But if we eat the poop and put the milk in our fields, we get sick, the crops die. But that's not because that was our destiny written somewhere in the sky, that our crops were going to die on such and such a date, or that we were going to have really bad diarrhea on such and such a date. We acted in such a way that led to us being sick and our crops dying. The destiny was the cow. What we do with it is new karma, creating new fruit, creating a new destiny. So you can't change your destiny today, but you can change your destiny for tomorrow, and the day after, and next week, and next month. And that takes us back, actually, to the first question about the guru, because a lot of times we're not necessarily sure what to do. It's not quite as obvious, oh, this is milk, I drink it. Oh, this is gobar, I put it in my field, or I use it to make a great hut. Oh, this is urine, I can use it as a wonderful, all-natural antiseptic. We may not know that. Sometimes life gives us things that we're just like, you know what? There's this white stuff, and I have no idea what to do with it. And this brown stuff, and I have no idea what to do with it. And this yellow stuff, and I have no idea what to do with it. And this is where having gurus, having mentors, having guides is so powerful, because we're constantly learning. We're not expected to always know. Now, of course, the highest way of knowing is our own intuition. That inner knowledge, that inner wisdom, that wisdom of the universe that flows through us. Right? The same wisdom that makes a caterpillar know how to become a butterfly, that makes an apple seed know how to become an apple tree, that makes a tree that starts to grow, suddenly turns sideways, completely contrary to any tree around her, because she knows she's got to grow this way in order to get light. Right? You walk through the forest and sometimes you'll see these trees growing horizontally for a while. Well, how'd she know? Right? Look around. Everybody else is going straight up. But that tree knew, I'm not going to get any light if I go straight up. And somehow there was that wisdom that made her grow sideways. That same wisdom is in us. And sometimes it's difficult to access. Sometimes we're confused. Sometimes it's hard to tease apart the different inner voices inside. And this is where having a guru, having scriptures, having mentors, having guides is so beneficial. Because it helps us create our destiny in the way that we want to live it. We're not victims of what we did 10 lifetimes ago. We are co-creating right now with that which has come from the past. That's the non-negotiable part. But there's a lot that's negotiable, a lot that is happening right here, right now, transforming that. And that's how we create our destiny. And that's what we use our free will for. Okay. Wonderful. Have a beautiful dinner. And then we hope that you will all join us on the banks of Ganga. Kirtan will begin at 8, and the program will begin about 8:30 with a meditation, a swaha ceremony, an opportunity to offer to the fire as we burn that image of Holika. And the Shakti of Bhakti, the power of love and devotion, emerges from the flames within all of us. And for those of you joining us online, have a beautiful rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So much love to you all.